There are few armies that could defeat the US Army, but that hasn't always been the case. There have been many groups who put up fights against them in the past, and some didn't even have fire guns. So today, I'm going to tell you about the toughest tribes feared by the US Army. 1. Kiowa. An ally of the dreaded Comanche, the Kiowa were usually at war with anyone the Comanche went to war with, including the US Army. For 50 years, the Kiowa moved from the central United States westward to join the Comanche in raiding and trading from the American Southwest into Mexico, killing thousands. Even after most of the Kiowa moved to reservations in 1877, many warrior bands remained loose on the American frontier. 2. Sioux. The Sioux were not the first tribe to fight the US government, and they weren't the last, but they might be the most famous. The Sioux produced some of the most notable names and places in all the Indian Wars, including Little Bighorn, Custer's Last Stand, Red Cloud, Sitting Bull, and Crazy Horse, to name a few. When the army came upon bands of Sioux warriors, they didn't know if they would just be fighting the handful of warriors they saw, or if another 5,000 to 7,000 were waiting somewhere they couldn't see. 3. Cheyenne. As more settlers rushed to the Rocky Mountains area, the area began to fill up with heavily armed militias, who would raid neighboring Arapaho and Cheyenne tribal settlements. In response, the Cheyenne began to fight back, forming different kinds of warrior bands, including the now famous Dog Soldiers, warriors who would hold their ground, no matter what came at them. The Dog Soldiers rallied Cheyenne and Arapaho tribesmen together to wreak havoc on the Colorado ranching industry. 4. Apache. If there's one thing the Union and Confederate armies could agree on, it was fighting the Apache tribes. In the early days of the Civil War, Confederate forces took on Apaches in the West. Before transferring to the actual Civil War, they were needed to fight. Clans of Apache rarely gathered in great numbers. They only did so in order to gather their forces to hit the US Army in large formations. The US Army hated the Apaches so much, they would fight any sized organization they happened to come across, fearful of them massing numbers to form a war party. It took more than 20 years of concerted effort to end the Apache resistance. 5. Comanche. The Comanches not only stymied the army's effort to contain or destroy them, but they also took down other native tribes, eradicating them or driving them out of their traditional lands. The reason the Spanish Empire stopped expanding northward was because they were stopped by Comanches. The Texan Republic stopped expanding westward because of Comanches. The United States frontier actually receded because of the Comanches. By the end of the 1860s, the men who won the Civil War for the Union were now running the country, and President Grant, commander of the U.S. Army William Tecumseh Sherman, and General Philip Sheridan were determined to end the Comanche threat, finally subduing them with overwhelming force in 1875. 6. Maori tribe. They are known for their outstanding and intimidating hacker dance. They are fierce warriors. They managed to kill 4 European men, the first time Captain Cook's boat appeared in their territory. 7. Chukchi tribe. They live in the Arctic region of Russia. Russia tried to wage war against the Chukchi, but never won. At one point, the leader of the Chukchi killed the Russian commander, and the captain's head was used as a trophy. 8. Korubo tribe. They are one of the few left in the world living in total isolation from the outside world. They are about 170 in all, and their weapon for hunting and warring is the club. Both men and women paint themselves with a red dye, and can hide and wait in ambush. You will never know they are coming towards you. They have shown very aggressive and violent communities. 9. Kazakh people. They are from Asia and known to be great warriors and eagle hunters. This tribe has never bowed to anyone in history. They are tough, resilient, and incredibly strong. They are also self-sufficient, needing no help from anyone, and can train their bodies to adapt to any kind of weather. 10. Asaro Mud Men. They are a tribe from Papua, New Guinea. They paint their skin white and elongate their nails with bamboo sticks. They do this to scare their enemies, and it works. It all started when they were defeated by an enemy tribe and had to flee into the Asaro River. They then waited until dusk to escape under the cover of the night's darkness. When they rose from their hiding place, they covered themselves with mud, and their enemies fled thinking they were spirits. This victory is still told today. So today, we shared with you a few of the forces that can defeat the US Army. These tribesmen, who did not even have firearms, were really good at fighting. Isn't that right?